Margie right here today, and today I just want to do another little D&D story time about the homebrew campaign that I run with my group of players, the Greek island-inspired setting. Now, if you've been following along with my D&D story time so far involving this campaign, you know that they are trying to stop the government of these islands, which is actually an organized religion, which is actually run by demons. So they're trying to stop that. And they have beaten 4 out of the 6 lieutenants of the big bad before they go after the big bad and stop them. So they're going after the second last lieutenant that they wanted to go after. And to do that, they actually have to go back to the city that they started their campaign in. The group is heading there. And on the way there, they find out that there is actually a curfew in that city so that you're not allowed to enter the city after dark. You're not allowed to be on the streets after dark. So that makes it so that they want to adjust their plans. Every time they've taken out one of these lieutenants of this demon and the high priests of each of these islands, they've had to adjust their way to get them because of the security increase that happens every time one of them is taken out, which makes sense. The religion realizes someone's trying to take them out. They know them by name. They know generally what they look like. So they need to develop different ways for them to sneak into these places to take out these high priests and these lieutenant demon generals. So what they decided to do was the druid had just got access to the Windwalk spell. Windwalk is a very handy travel spell and can sometimes be used as an espionage spell because it turns you into a cloud or a vapor or mist, however you want to describe it. So what they plan to do is they plan to wait to evening to give themselves a little bit more coverage and a little bit more of a help with the darkness to cover up the fact that a bunch of fog clouds are moving around independently. And they cast the Windwalk spell on themselves. They went up to the temple grounds, which is at the top of these cities, at the center and the top of these cities, where all the rich people, the government people, and the temple of the religion that they're trying to stop are located. And the idea was they'd get to the top of these temple grounds, they would find places to turn back into their physical forms, which takes a minute with the Windwalk spell. So don't try to use the spell in combat. And so they'd find hiding spots and turn back into their physical forms and try to get around or find a way to sneak into the temple. So they did that. Everybody in the group was able to get to the temple grounds, find hiding spots, and turn back into their physical forms. The only one who struggled with this was the paladin, because paladins are not known for being very stealthy. My paladin player character is also a water genasi, so her idea was to turn back into her physical form, hiding in the fountain, which was a good idea, but unfortunately because paladins are not very good at stealth, she was caught. Thankfully, the person who caught her was a nobleman, and all the nobleman saw was a woman seemingly drowning in the fountain. So the nobleman decided to try and rescue this strange lady who to him appeared to be drowning. And the paladin played along with this, thanking him for rescuing her. From the nobleman's point of view, he saw this 6-foot-tall, armored, beautiful-looking water genasi lady. He decided that this was his chance. This was his meet cute. This was his destined love that he rescued, and she was going to be so grateful for being rescued that they would be married, and they would have a lovely life together. The paladin realized this, played along with it, and when the nobleman turned his back to her, she knocked him out. And the others all gathered around. They decided what they were going to do with this poor nobleman. The paladin decided that this gentleman did seem like he was generally a nice guy. So she decided to use her lay on hands ability to heal him up enough from the damage from being knocked out, but not to wake him up fully from unconsciousness, so that when he woke up, he would feel like he had just had a nap. And then they set him up on a bench as if he had gone on an evening walk, had fallen asleep, and had a lovely dream about meeting a beautiful, tall warrior woman that he had rescued. Then they left him and went about their plan of getting into the temple. I like to think that this nobleman had woken up believing that he had had this lovely, romantic dream of meeting and rescuing this beautiful warrior woman. They had gotten married, they had a family, and they had had a wonderful, fulfilling life together. And then he woke up and just said, wow, what a wonderful dream. I wish that was real. And thus, the group was able to go about their plan uninterrupted from then on, because it was nighttime and there was supposed to be a curfew, so everybody was pretty much in their houses. So they did just happen to have the unluck of running into this one gentleman. Now, this was not the most important part of that session. The session had a lot of other stuff going on, planning, combat, sneaking around. But that was the part that my players remembered at the end. And at the end, they hoped that the nobleman had a good life from there. So despite that not being the most important part of the session, it was probably the most memorable part of the session. I guess the lesson for this D&D story time is just to be open to having those little moments that you don't have planned already, that you kind of improv on the spot, because those are the moments that your players find the most funny or find the most memorable or find the most cute and have a good time with. A lot of the most interesting parts of my campaigns are the ones that I don't plan out, think up on the spot. I didn't plan this nobleman to be there. I just had to have a consequence for the paladin rolling terrible on stealth, a not very bright nobleman, and then the idea of him finding this woman that needed rescuing and him rescuing her would be someone who was probably very romantic and probably someone not very bright, because why would a water genasi be drowning? So I didn't plan that idea. It wasn't the most plot heavy part of the session. It wasn't involved in the plot at all. It was just a little thing that happened. So just be open to having those moments happen. Be open to spending a little time out of your plot or out of your planned things for these little improv things to happen, because those are things your players tend to kind of remember and have fun with. Don't plan out every single second and minute of your session. Have some parts in there that could be put in and spend some time with it. Don't hurry along to the next thing. It may be that you have to create an NPC on the spot and kind of figure out what they're going to be, what kind of person they're going to be on the spot. But it's kind of fun to do, and it's part of why D&D is such a fun collaborative game together. That is the lesson of this D&D story time. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked this little funny story of this man. They might end up seeing him again. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll run into him again sometime. But if not, he'll just be a funny NPC that they met once and had a fun interaction with. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope you're having a great day. If you're not having a great day, I hope your bad day is over with soon. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye!